start. Did you memorize that some of this, Pratyas? Anyone?
Tried to, Prabhu.
You did?
Yeah, I tried to.
Okay. So that's good. And the other devotees can do some of this and so on.
Part.
Hmm?
I'm trying to do like part 2, 3, like Suojas, Amortius, like 2, 3, not the entire one at a time. It's
Okay.
mixed up.
No issue. Okay. तत्र जटशं पावितः उष्ट सह जैसे विष्ट. Among the Vishnu Bhaktis, J, T, Sh, M, and P are indicatory letters. This is not its of English. This is its in Sanskrit, as also the U of Su and the E of Masi. It means that one minute. Like, yesterday I told you these things. The letters in these brackets. So if you so there the letter J, the letter T, Sh, M, P, they are indicatory letters, which means they are not included with the pratyas when we make some forms. They are deleted. They are indicatory letters. And also the U of Su, like this, the U of Su, and the E of Masi will come across these things. We'll read this. An it indicatory letter is so named because it goes. Goes means it deletes. It gets deleted and it doesn't remain. The it is also called Anubandha. Another name for it is Anubandha. Sometimes now, why these letters are used? So Jiva Goswami is giving reasons. Sometimes an indicatory letter is employed to aid pronunciation, ucharana. For example, if there is no U, so it will be difficult to pronounce simple sa. So sometimes such indicatory letters are added to facilitate pronunciation. Sometimes to create a distinguishing characteristic. Yes. For example, the 1.3 is just, and the 2.3 is
Shus.
shus. So us is same in both, and ja and sha they are deleted, but us remains. So if there was no ja and there was no sha, it would have been difficult to recognize both, which is 1.3 and which is 2.3. So to create a distinguishing characteristic, so ja here and sha here. This is the second reason. Then, and sometimes it is the cause of the application of a rule or prohibition, and sometimes some rule will be applied on the basis of such indicatory letters. It will come ahead. So these are the three usages of such indicative letters. Okay. This thing, the third one will be coming ahead. How? So there are also its. Okay, we'll skip this part. This one is sufficient for now. So this is clear, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Then, and of course, I encourage all of you to go through everything if you have time, even if you don't understand. So this is the table actually in English. So these are all indicatory letters. So tatra jata shangapa, ja, tatra ja, ta, sha, this nga, all this nga, and pa. So this ja is repeated again, and u. These are all indicatory letters in brackets, and these are all they do not remain. They go. They get deleted. Like that. So you can memorize Sumojas, Samoshas, Tabhyambhis, and so on. So by Monday, I think everyone should memorize it. Sumojas and so on. Okay. Then Nam Sangesh Chaturvidha. The nouns are of four kinds. This is simple. Four kinds are Pulling, Striling, Napunsakling, and Avyaya. So the only difference in this grammar is Jiva Goswami he renames these lingas. For Pulling, he uses the word Purushottam. For Striling, he uses the term Lakshmi. For Napunsakling, he uses the term Brahma. And Avyayas are Avyayas. So this is the only difference. Pulling is Purushottama Linga, Striling is Lakshmi Linga, and Napunsak Brahma, and Avyayas are Avyayas. That's all. Okay? Then this is Nama Sangesh Chaturvidha. The nouns are of four kinds. Then Vishnu Bhakti Siddham Vishnu Padam. Now there was a question pending since the beginning that what is Vishnu Pada actually? So here is the definition of Vishnu Pada. That which is formed by the application of Vishnu Bhakti is called a Vishnu Pada. Like when we add Pratyaya is Vishnu Bhakti, same. So when we add Vishnu Bhakti or Pratyaya to a Prakriti, so the final form which comes out is a Vishnu Pada. So that is Vishnu Pada. That which is formed by the application of Vishnu Bhakti. Simple. Is that okay?
Yes.
Vishnu Bhakti is Pratyaya, and when we add Pratyaya or Vishnu Bhakti to Prakriti, so it becomes a Vishnu Pada, the final form. Oops. Or inflected word. This is interesting actually. The form of a Nam or Dhatu achieved through the application of a Vishnu Bhakti is called a Vishnu Pada. Same thing, when we add Pratyaya to Prakriti, and Prakriti are of two types, either Dhatu or Nama, then it becomes a Vishnu Pada, and in other grammars it is known as Pada, like Panini and all. From here on in, the rules of this book should be treated like the flow of the Ganga. A later rule does not set aside an earlier rule where there is no Upadhi Upavada. It simply means that like in the grammar there are 7 chapters and this is the second one. So like when the river Ganga flows, so the water which originates from the very beginning, like let's say from its source, the same water is carried throughout until it reaches the ocean. Similarly, the sutras, the rules which we are studying now, will be used, throughout the grammar, whether in the 3rd chapter or in the 4th or in the 5th or 6th or 7th. Anywhere they can be used. So like that. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes, Guruji.
Yes, Guruji.
So theory finished. Now comes the practical aspect. So even if you don't memorize till here the sutras, no issue, but just memorize that smooth is stable. But here, from here on, uh, I expect that you should memorize. These are like formulas,
E-
actually, sutras.
Exam stuffs. These are exam stuffs now.
Yeah, this. Okay. Okay, so we begin our journey of nouns. So the very first word is aramanta. You understand what is aramanta, right? A word
Yeah.
which has a at the end, like Rama, Krishna, and so on. So here we will take Krishna, which is aramanta, and what this chapter deals with is it will take words with different ramanta, like aramanta, iramanta, uramanta, and all the pratyas will be applied one by one. First of all, we'll apply su and we'll make a form, then o, then jas, one by one. And so, for making these Vishnu padas, there are some rules how to make them. So the first rule is, so firstly we start with Krishna, because in the Sarveshwaras, the very first vowel is a. So Jiva Goswami starts with a Ramanta, and then he will go for a Ramanta, then e Ramanta, then e Ramanta, and so on. And of course, this is one more thing. This is Purushottam Linga. This is Purushottam Linga, and then there will be, this is first section, part 1 of this chapter, Purushottama Linga, and part 2 will be Lakshmi Linga, part 3 will be Brahma Linga, part 4 will be Avyayas, and then the chapter will be closed. And then after that, Sarvanama will be there. Then second chapter will be finished. And it's actually very interesting. Really, I really like this chapter. Very funny and very practical, and it's like mathematics. You add some pratyas, some formulas, this and that, and you make some forms. It's very interesting actually. Okay, so Krishna Su, Sara Rama Vishnu Sarga Vishnu Vedante. Sara Rama and Ra Rama become Vishnu Sarga when they are at the end of a Vishnu Pada. So what we'll do here is, first we will add this like that. And this is not Sandhi here. It is just addition, Pratyaya and Prakriti. So, and U is an indicatory letter, so we don't add U. So Krishna's, now this is a Vishnu Pada here. And at the end of a Vishnu Pada, we have Sa. So the sutra says Sa Ra Rama Vishnu Sarga Vishnu Vedante, which means Sa Rama and Ra Rama become Vishnu Sarga when they are at the end of a Vishnu Pada. So here we have Sa Rama. It is at the end of a Vishnu Pada. So it becomes Vishnu Sarga. So it becomes Krishna. So this is 1.1. Clear?
Yes.
Okay.
This is actually also very important. Yeah, so here they have did it. Krishna Su, and then this 155 is the sutra number 155. They applied. So whenever they apply sutra, so in this particular edition, they will write the numberings. That Krishna Su, they applied sutra, this and this, and then such form is made. Okay? Even if when Ra Rama is there at the end of Vishnu Pada, Then Ra also becomes Vishnu Sarga, and we'll see such example ahead. So this is Krishna. We'll cover this maybe on Monday. This is quite important. If we understand these shlokas, so we'll be able to understand sutra just by seeing at the sutra without looking at the translations. Just by studying this. So this is a trick actually by Jiva Goswami, how to understand the meaning of the sutras just by looking at the sutras and not at the translations.
Sutra
Then
means Prabhu, any sutra.
any sutra means in this Vyakaran.
Okay.
Yeah, in this grammar. Not the Brahma Sutras and so on. Devotees are quite
I became excited. Wow.
okay. Then you can go through whenever you have some time. Then comes the second one. What is this? Krishna. Oh, the second one is oh, right? 1.2.
Yes, Guru.
So here it will be Sandhi. Which Sandhi?
दशावतार एकात्मके मिलित्वा त्रिविक्रमः.
This is oh.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. That is Vriddhi Sandhi.
Yeah. Which sutra?
Ow.
Odvay oh.
Udvay oh.
So it will be Krishna. So see, Sarveshwara Sandhi rule is applied here. So this is Ganga Srotvat. Okay, this is clear, right? This is simple actually. Then Krishna and just okay. Here Krishna just so Ja is not included. So we'll apply Sandhi. Which Sandhi?
Krishna's
एकात्मके त्रिविक्रम.
Dashavatara Katmika.
avatar.
Krishna's. Krishna's. Right? Again, Sara Ramya Vishnu Sarga Vishnu Vedante. Sa is at the end of a Vishnu Pada, so it becomes Vishnu Sarga. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
So just then
Yes.
Then for after removing the indicatory letters and applying the current sutra, the Vishnu Bhaktis are as follows. Like by applying Sara Ramyor, they have made this table. You can either look at it or not, your wish. Then these are some usages of the Vibhaktis. You can go through them. Then this is interesting. Then Krishna generally what would have been applied here is Dashavatara Katmaka Mitva, Krishnam, and something like that. But it is not like this. Dashavataranam Shasora Rama Haraha, which means when or Shas come after a Dashavatara, their Rama is deleted. When or Shas come after the Dashavatara, their Rama is deleted. So this is it comes after the Dashavatara, Dashavatara. So the of will be deleted. Like this. Okay. Like this. And then, yeah, that's all. And we combine them. Krishnam. Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. So this is by Sutra 156. Dashavatara Amshasor Ramahara. Is that clear?
Yes.
And then this, again, this is same. Krishna, same as 1.2, 2.2. Krishna. Odvayo, same. Krishna. Then comes Krishna,
Yes.
Shas. So Sha is an indicatory letter, not included. Remaining is us. Dashavatara Damshasora Ramahara, same sutra. It says when or Shas come. This is Shas. So see, because it is mentioned Shas, so we will not delete of Jas because Sha is mentioned in particular. So this is the third usage of indicatory letter. Did you get it?
Yes.
The third usage we studied. Tatra jata samapa itaha umshta samasa ushtade. So here, this will be deleted by this sutra. Dashavatara amshasora ramahara, and it will be combined Krishnas, and then sutra Sararamayo Vishnu Sarga Vishnu Vedante Krishna. Two sutras. Got it?
Yes.
If you didn't, please tell. Very important. Okay, so Krishna. We did two sutras, right? Oops, sorry, I'm wrong. I just missed it, sorry. So Dashavatara Damshasora Ramahara sutra applied. So it became Krishna and this. Then there is another sutra. Dashavatara Trivikrama Shasi Tasmat Sona Damsi. Dashavatara becomes Trivikrama when Shas follow. So Dashavatara is this, becomes Trivikrama when Shas follow. So even if A is deleted, still it will be considered as Shas. Because originally it is Shas. So this will become Trivikrama when Shas is following. So first of all, we'll make it Trivikrama. Okay. And then Tasmat Sonapumhi. Tasmat. Thereafter, after that, the Sa of Shas becomes Na. Provided the Vishaya is the masculine gender. So provided we are dealing with the masculine, with Purushottam Linga, which it is. So this Sa will be converted into Na. Tasmat Sona Punsi, and will combine it. So it becomes Krishna. So Krishna is Shas. First of all, Dashavatara Damshasor Ramaharaha. Then Dashavatara Trivikramaha Shasi, after when Shas is following. And Tasma, thereafter the Sa becomes Na. And we combine it. So it becomes Krishna. Okay, we stop it here for today. And for tomorrow, okay, not tomorrow. Rama, so you have to do these three words means the same way. The 6 of the vibhaktis, you have to apply to each one of them. Either you can write in notebook and you can click photo and send, or you can do digitally and sent. No issue. So please do it and submit it on Monday. Okay. Apply these six to bhaktis to each one of them, and even write sutras actually, either by seeing or by memorizing. I don't know, care about that, because even if you don't memorize, but still you write by seeing, automatically you'll get them memorized. So write sutras and like that. Okay. Any question here? Quite simple actually.
No, Prabhuji. Quite interesting. So, Prabhuji, this table is the base of the declension. Is the
Yes,
we
yes,
have, right?
yes, please.
Uh, Now the declension table is making some sense to me. Otherwise, when you were always telling me memorize it, I was trying, but it was not making any sense. Honestly, now it is making sense to me.
It looked like some Chinese thing, right? Okay. So grammar first. Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Stapita Yena Vitale Smarupa Padam Dharati So Padam Tukam. The Tika for, so we'll start from here. Atha Shriman Saha Ayam Granthakaraha Sakala Bhagavat Lok ऐश्वर्या माता जी समझ में आया आज का हमने जो पढ़ा ग्रामर?
जी मुझे आ रहा है।
श्रीकांत प्रभु?
यस प्रभु।
अतः श्रीमान सह अयम ग्रंथकारः सकल भागवत लोकहित अभिलाष परवशतया प्रकाशितैः स्वहृदय दिव्य कमल कोश विलासिभिः श्रीमद् भागवत रसैः. So when I'm reading, I'm also breaking and doing the sandhis. So if you cannot recognize which sandhi, which rule, you can ask. Otherwise, I'll just keep reading and explain. Srimad Bhagavata Rasaihi Eva Bhakti Rasamrita Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu Namanam Grantham Apurva Rachanam Achinvanaha Tad Varnaitavyasya Eva Cha Sarva Uttamatam Nischinvanaha Tat Vyanjanaya Eva Mangalam Asanjayati Evam Sarvah Eva Grantha Ayam Mangala Rupah Iti cha Vijñapayati Akhila iti. So this is a full sentence. So it means the Granthakara, the compiler, the writer of the book, of the scripture, is inspired by the will to benefit the devotees, to benefit all devotees. Sakala Bhagavat means all devotees. Bhagavata Lok means all devotees, devotee people, literally. Hit means benefit. Abhilash Paravashataya means with an impetus to, with a desire actually, to do, to benefit all the Vaishnava. Prakashitai. So he, in whose heart, and Rupa Goswami's heart is compared with a lotus, a transcendental lotus, Divya Kamala, wherein all the rasa, all the mellows of Srimad Bhagavatam are manifested. Again, I'll repeat. the heart of Srila Rupa Goswami is compared with the lotus, wherein all the rasas of Srimad Bhagavatam, all the principles, all the mellows are manifested, and he is desirous, is willing to benefit all the devotees, and that's why he is Achinvana. He's compiling, he's writing the Grantha, the scripture named Namanam, named Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is Apurva Rachanam. Who can explain what is Apurva Rachanam? Anyone? Apurva Rachanam.
पहले कभी ऐसी रचना नहीं हुई.
पहले कभी ऐसी रचना नहीं हुई. Unpreceded. Yes. So Achinvana compiled. Achinvana means he wrote, compiled, and so on. Tad varnayitavyasya eva cha sarva uttamatam nishchinvanah. So now the matter discussed in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is Sarvottam, is the best of the knowledge, because ultimately all the philosophies, all the knowledge and this and that culminates into bhakti, and bhakti is manifold. Sadhana bhakti, then sadhana bhakti has two parts, Vaidhi bhakti and Ragavalambi Vaidhi bhakti, and then another part is Raganuga bhakti, and in Raganuga bhakti we get to see the 5 mukhya rasas and so on. So the rasas, the discussion of rasas, the realization of rasas is the Sarvottam part in all the knowledge, Raj Vidya. And this matter, this Raj Vidya is the Vishaya Vastu of this book. That's why Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu, Akhila Rasa Amrita is being discussed in the very first verse here. So to describe it or to indicate it, to indicate the best, to indicate the Sarvottamata of the book, of the matter, he is Mangalam Asanjayati. He is invoking this auspiciousness, Mangalam, by this particular verse. Evam, invoking auspiciousness, plus he's also indicating the subject, the Vishaya of the whole book by this particular verse. Evam sarvaha eva grantha ayam mangalurupa. And by this particular first verse, the whole book is Mangal, is auspiciousness personified, Mangalurupa. So to indicate it, Akhilati, this verse has been spoken. Like that. See, one thing we should notice that to convert or to translate Sanskrit into English or into Hindi, it's like we can never do it exactly. Like it cannot be 100% always. So, but still we can have a major understanding, a major translation. So we should not expect 100%, because it cannot happen. Even if we translate English into Hindi or any language into any other language, the same mood cannot be experienced. But still, we can understand, we can grasp the major part, which we'll be trying to do. Was that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. That's what this Sanskrit Bharati people, they say from their first class only, we will teach Sanskrit in Sanskrit only. So that's their policy.
What?
Sanskrit Bharati, you know, na Prabhuji, Sanskrit
Yes,
Bharati.
yes. What is their policy?
Their first, from their beginning, they teach speaking Sanskrit in Sanskrit only.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't teach in any other language.
Hmm.
That's their policy.
Anyhow, so yeah. Then, so Jiva Goswami is describing the word Vidhu. We have the word Vidhu here. So Vidhu stands for Krishna here. Vidhu Shri Krishna Jayati Sarva Utkarshena Vartate. So all glories to Shri Krishna. Sarvokarsha. Preeminence overall. So Sarvotkarshana Vartate means he is the supreme authority over everything, whether animate or inanimate. यद्यपि विदुः श्रीवत्स स लांछनः इति सामान्य भगवत आविर्भाव पर्यायः तथा अपि विधुनोति खंडयति सर्व दुःखम अतिक्रामति सर्वम चैति. Although Vidhu can mean one who bears the mark of Srivatsa, which means that it by Vidhu Samanya Bhagavad Avirbhav can be understood, which means a Narayana form, a Vishnu form can be understood by the word Vidhu, because Vishnu is Samanya Bhagavad Avirbhav, Samanya Bhagavad Avatar, Vishnu. Krishna is not Samanya, he is Vishesha, and is not Avatar, is the Avatari. But still, even if we take it in that sense, Vidhunoti, then Vidhu will mean Vidhunoti, Khandayati, Sarva Dukkham Atikramati. It means that even in that sense, Vishnu or Krishna is the one who Khandayati, who dispels all the miseries. Yadva, or else Vidhu can mean Vidadhati Karoti Sarva Sukham Sarvam Chaiti, or Vidhu can mean one Shri Krishna who can Sarva Sukham Karoti, who can make all happiness possible or make one happy, and from him everything emanates. Sarvam Chaiti. Sarva means everything. Aham Sarvasya Prabhu, like that. Iti nirukte paryavasane vicharyamane tatra eva vishrante. So by these words, we should understand that here Vidhu is in specific deals with Shri Krishna, and this is the Paryavasan, this is the conclusion, which is Vicharyamane, which has been thought and concluded by the authorities. Asuranam api mukti pradatvena. Basically, see, Vidhu can mean a lot of things. Basically, Vidhu means a moon. But here Rupa Goswami refers Vidhu to Shri Krishna. But someone may object that Vidhu can mean some Samanya Bhagavad Avatar, like Lord Vishnu in specific. But Jiva Goswami is substantiating Rupa Goswami's point that no, in this particular case, Vidhu refers to Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the fountainhead of all incarnations, and he's giving few reasons for it. So these two things can be done even by Samanya Bhagavad Avirbhav. But ahead, Asuranam api mukti pradatvena. That only Shri Krishna is the one who can give mukti even to the demons, Asuranam. Swavaibhav atikranta sarvatvena. Only Krishna is the one this is like comma here. This is the second reason. Only Shri Krishna is the one who can atikranta, overcome everyone. Everyone includes Jiva Tattva, everyone includes all the avatars, anyone in existence. So he excels everyone through his Vaibhava, through his opulence, through his majesty. Only Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna is the one, comma. Shri Krishna is the one, Parama Apurva Swaprema Mahasukha Paryanta Sukha Vistarakatvena. He is the only one who can expand, or who can spread, or who can give, who can deliver Vistar, the happiness, the bliss, which is Parama, supreme, which is Apurva, unprecedented, nothing like that, uncomparable. And that Sukh is originated from the love towards Shri Krishna, Swaprem Mahasukha Paryanta. So this thing can only be done by Shri Krishna, because other avatars, they are only Aishwarya Gata avatars, let's say, but Shri Krishna is Madhurya May avatar. So he can bestow the bliss originated from his own love to anyone, which is Parama and which is Apurva. And the fourth point is Swayam Bhagavattena, that he is Swayam Bhagwan. So by these four reasonings, especially Asuranam, that he delivers the Asuras, he excels everyone through his majesty, he delivers, he distributes love of Godhead, in short, and he is the supreme personality of Godhead. By these four reasons, the word Vidhu in particular refers to Shri Krishna. Was that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Atah eva amarena api tat pradhanyena eva tani namani proktani. Even in Amarena here refers to Amar Kosha. Amar Kosha is it's not dictionary, it's like a treasure of words. So in Amar Kosha, the names of Shri Krishna are elaborated, especially in relation to Shri Krishna and not the other Samanya Bhagavat avatar. So, for example, it is mentioned in Amar Kosha, Vasudevo Asya Janaka Ityadi Ukte, that Vasudeva is the father of whom, which means Shri Krishna. So, like that, Jiva Goswami is further substantiating that Shri Krishna is referred with many names, and Vidhu is one of them. That is the main purpose of his statement. Etat eva sarvam jayatyarthena spashtikritam. So all these things, the explanation of Vidhus by these four parts, it all becomes more clarified by the meaning of the word Jayati. Because when we say Jayati, let's say if there are 10 people in a room, or let's say 10 people in a war, in a battle, and a particular person named, let's say, Obama, something like, let's say, Ram, he wins the battle. So Rama Jayati, we'll say Rama Jayati. So Rama Jayati implies the defeat of other 9 people, isn't it? When we say Rama Jayati, Rama became victorious, it automatically implies that the other 9 became, they got defeated. Similarly, when we say Krishna Jayati, when we say Vidu Jayati, it simply means that uh, everyone else, whether Jiva Tattva or whether Vishnu Tattvas, they are all, to some degree, they are, to more or less degree, they are inferior to Shri Krishna. That is the meaning. So, like that, Jayati. Like in Sanskrit Bharati, they say, very famous, Jayatu Sanskritam. Isn't it, Abhinandan Tapu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
They say Jayatu Sanskritam, Jayatu Sanskritam. Means
Jayatu.
I also did that there, Sambhashan Shivir. So it's quite interesting, and for me it was quite funny. So they say Jayatu Sanskritam. It means all glories to Sanskrit language. So it implies that no glories to other languages, or less glories to other languages. Similarly, Krishna Jayati, Vidhu Jayati means that other Vishnu Tattvas, Jiva Tattvas, they are inferior to Sri Krishna. And this will be very clearly explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, because when Rupa Goswami will be dealing with the gunas, qualities, so he'll be explaining 64 qualities of Sri Krishna. So out of 64, only 60 belong to Vishnu Tattvas, 55 to Brahma, Shiva, and other main demigods, and 52 the Jiva Tattvas, and even that in some proportion, not to the fullest extent. So like that, Jayati here in the first verse itself indicates that Sri Krishna is the one who is like the fountainhead, and no one excels him. He is asamordhvam. In Ishopanishad, this term is used, asamordhvam. Asama urdhvam. It means na sama and na urdhvam. Quite interesting actually. Samau, right? I think you might have came across this word, right? In Ishopanishad.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So when we break it, it is like a sama and urdhvam. And if we undo the samasa, so it is na sama and let's put a comma, na sama na urdhva. So there is no one equal to him and there is no one superior to him. So this is what Jiva Goswami and Rupa Goswami, they are trying to prove here by different methods, by Anvay or by Pratirek, direct or indirect method. And Sri Krishna is the one who is the fountainhead. And Srila Prabhupada in his books, in simple words, he has put everything. Every time he'll be stating Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we can see how it was not only Prabhupada who did it. Even our acharyas like Rupa Goswami, especially Jiva Goswami, they just tried their best, and they did their best in proving Krishna as the best. Then Sarvotkarshena Vrittir Nama Tat Tat Eva Iti. Yes, simple. It means that Sri Krishna is Sarvotkrishta, is the supreme, and all those names indicate that. अतएव प्राकट्य समय मात्र दृष्टिया या लोकस्य अपरिचिति तस्य निरासक वर्तमान प्रयोग. Actually, now here some grammar learning is important. So this Jayati is in present tense, and it is a verb actually. Like Bhavati is also present tense. So Jayati is used in present tense. So Jiva Goswami is explaining that why Jayati is used in present tense. So he is mentioning that some people, they have an opinion that Shri Krishna was visible to the people, to the vision, to the eyes, when he was doing his Prakat Leela, 5,000 and some years ago. And they say, they believe that now we cannot see him, we cannot perceive him. But by using this Vartaman Prayoga, by using this present tense, so Srila Rupa Goswami is defeating Nirasakaha. Nirasakaha means he's refusing, he's defeating that concept. Because Vartamana Prayoga is like Jayati, that Sri Krishna is still, he can still be perceived, he's still the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's not like a Prime Minister whose span of, government affairs, whose span of ministership gets finished after 5 years. It's not like that. That after one Manu, after one Kalpa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is changed. Yeah, Brahma is changed. Even Indra is changed. The demigods, they get changed. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead remains as he is. So like that. And he becomes perceptible to the vision even now. So this is what the Vartamana Prayoga is trying to say. Like that. Anything? Was that clear?
Yes, Prabhuji. Very nice explanation, this Vartaman Prayog ka.
Yeah. One more thing, like, see, these commentaries, this stuff are like, means in one of the audio recording in Gitamrita, I mentioned it. Actually, these Shastras, Shlokas, commentaries, they are like a seed, a seed, beej. And when we water a seed, so the seed becomes gradually turns into a seedling, and gradually it blossoms and it becomes a flower, and gradually it emits nice fragrance and so on. But we have to water the seed again and again and again. Similarly, uh, these scriptures are like seed, and when we pour the sadhana like water, so and as our consciousness becomes clear, so these scriptures like seed become, they fructify, they blossom gradually. So it's not that only by one reading we'll know everything. No, it's not like that. When we'll go through it again and again, so the same thing will be more clarified. So we should not expect that in one go, at one go, we'll be like masters of BRS. So like that. But still, it's a fun and it's a devotion, understanding and reading it. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. It's quite and next, Jiva Goswami will be quoting many verses from many scriptures, especially from Srimad Bhagavatam, stating the supremacy of Sri Krishna and how he attracts the consciousness, the mind of the devotees, the people in general even, and how even at the present he can be perceived and he can be pleased. So he'll be giving references, many references actually. So if you want, you can look through these verses in folio. It will be nice, if you can. Otherwise, anyways, we'll be doing it tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Monday. Okay, any question, any comment, anything? सबको समझ में आया ना हमने क्या डिस्कशन किया?
Yes, Prabhuji. Not because of our qualification, but because of your causeless mercy.
No. No, it's not like that. It's triangle. श्रीकांत प्रभु
यस प्रभु जी. संजायती का मीनिंग मुझे नहीं क्लियर हुआ.
किसका?
संजायती, संजायते.
संजायती कहाँ पर है?
ये ऊपर आया है प्रभु जी.
कहाँ
अगले पिछले पेज में. हाँ, यहीं पे. हाँ, मंगल 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 मास
संजयती.
ये संजय. Something like attached.
I'll say, yeah, means Mangala Masanjati is like, he's mentioning his, it's not the exact word here, from here.
ऐसा कह सकते हैं कि मंगल कामना जो की गई है उससे जुड़ा हुआ इसके लिए की गई है. मतलब उसका मंगल के साथ में ये वर्ड आया है. मंगलमय भावों से पूर्ण, इस प्रकार.
Means he's invoking auspiciousness, I'll say. Okay. He's invoking auspiciousness, Sanjayati. Because Sanjaya, I'll say invoking auspiciousness.
Okay, bro.
Or if you want to use this word attach, then we can mean it like he is attaching auspiciousness.
Yes.
With this verse.
With this verse. Like this.
Yeah, this can also mean, no issue. Means in this particular verse, Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu and so on, he is also attaching auspiciousness for the jivas.
जैसे हिंदी में कहें कि मंगलता से परिपूर्ण कर रहे हैं, उसको भर रहे हैं.
हाँ, ठीक है, परिपूर्ण. नो इशू, परिपूर्ण. और कुछ प्रश्न किसी का?
This word Jayati, like you explained that others are, it is implied that others are automatically defeated.
Not means in this case not defeated, because Vishnu Tattvas cannot be defeated. They are like inferior.
Inferior, yeah.
Inferior.
So, like in 10th canto when we say Jayati Te, so can we apply like similar meaning that nobody else's birth in Vraja is as glorious as Krishna's? Just my speculation.
Jayati Tedikam Janmana Vrajah.
Haan.
Okay, Jayati is connected to whom in that shloka?
Jayati is connected to Krishna's birth, na?
This is connected to Vrindavan actually.
Yes. The Vraja Jayati there. The Vrindavan is glorious because Shri Krishna is taking birth in Vrindavan. He's appearing in Vrindavan. So naturally, when we say Vrindavan Jayati, it automatically means that all other cities, all other districts, all other, even planets, they are inferior to Vrindavan.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so like
प्रभु जी,
हाँ.
वैसे आपने जो बोला वैसा है, क्योंकि मैंने 1 महीने पहले जीव गोस्वामी की टीका उस पे एक वर्ष पे पढ़ी थी. एग्जैक्ट यही बोले हैं वो कि बैकुंठों से बड़ा है ये जयती का मतलब यही हो रहा है, और कई सारे उन्होंने जयती से निकाले.
देखिए अभी हमारे शब्दों का प्रमाण भी मिल गया. So it's like that. So Vraja Jayati is connected to Vraja actually there.
Yes. Okay.
And because Krishna appeared in Vraja, that's why Indra Shashwat Tatra Shrayate. That Indra means generally, literally, Indra means goddess of Lakshmi, goddess of fortune. But the mool goddess of fortune is Radharani. So because Krishna has taken a birth in Vrindavan, that's why the mool goddess of fortune resides in Vrindavan eternally. So it becomes even more auspicious.
Yes.
So like that. Okay?
Yes.
और किसी को कुछ पूछताछ? Okay, so we'll end here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So we'll meet on Monday And please memorize Sumojas and please do those 3 words with 6 vibhaktis.
Yes.
Thank
We
you
will
very much. Hare
get in.
Krishna. I'm sorry?
We have to send that assignment in Telegram.
Okay, you can send in Telegram.
No, as you say, or email or
No,
whatever.
Telegram is common platform.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.